Hi everybody, welcome to the chapter 13 to 15. If you guys haven't watched chapter 1, chapter 3, if you guys haven't watched chapter 1 to 3, chapter 4 to 6, chapter 7 to 9, and chapter 10 to 12, please watch. But after you guys watch this video, of course. So let's start chapter 13. Without warning, the bolt rattled and the door opened. Victoria stood in the doorway, her eyes squinting into the darkness. "Are you all okay?" she asked softly. We must have looked shocked because she stepped toward us. "Don't be frightened," she said. "It's me, Vivian." We couldn't believe our ears. "Vivian?" I cried, my mind reeling. "But you looked just like Victoria." Vivian stood beside us, staring at the brain on the "Oh, you found Victoria's friend." Relief flooded for Liana's face. She's gripped Vivian's play. She gripped Vivian's hand. "Vivian, Victoria's coming back any moment," she explained. "She's going to turn us into vampires. You've got to help us." Kiefer scratched his head. "I'm confused," he admitted. "You and Victoria both look the same. I mean, is she your twin sister or something?" Vivian shook her head. "It's very hard to explain." Her eyes were filled with sadness. "You see, Victoria and I are the same." For Liana peered at her. "But you don't have fangs," she shivered. "Or do you?" "Yes, how do we know you are Vivian?" Kiefer demanded. "Because I'm telling you the truth," Vivian told him. "A long while ago, I began to get strange, wild ideas whenever the moon was full. I wanted to bite things, and then I tried to bite people. So my parents took me to see a doctor." "A special doctor?" "You mean a shrink?" Kiefer asked, his jaw dropping. "A psychiatrist," Vivian nodded. I held her hand. "What did he do?" I asked her. "He said I had a split personality," Vivian confessed. Kiefer frowned. You mean like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? I saw that movie on TV. Okay, I'm stretched again. Because of never mind. "Something like that," Vivian answered quietly. "I'm Vivian and I'm also Victoria. The good and the bad. Two different people in one person." "But how do you know which person you are?" Liana wanted to know. Vivian's face was torn with pain. "When I'm calm and happy, I'm Vivian. When I go crazy and want to bite people, I'm Victoria." But can't they do something to help you?" I asked her. "Aren't there medicines you can take?" "We tried everything, but Victoria was too strong." A tear rolled down Vivian's cheek. Just when I thought I'd said stay Vivian, Victoria would come out and take control of me. Farliana wiped away the tear with the tissue. It must be horrible for you. Vivian nodded. That's why I keep changing schools. Just when I get settled in a new school, Victoria ruins everything, and I have to move on. Is that why you can't write properly? Kiefer wondered. Oh, I can write very well. Vivian smiled. When I'm Vivian. But when I become Victoria, all I can think about is being a vampire. I forget just about everything I've learned. I touched the coffin. The wood was warm from the brain's heat. And this brain? I asked gently. Vivian shuddered. It's the brain of her vampire master. It's hideous. It controls her and makes her even more crazy. I pointed to the wires. And this is how she keeps it alive? Her vampire master told her what to do. She's got the wires hooked up to some kind of special electrical charger. There's still electricity. What? Wait, hang on. Oh, yeah. There's a flattened dot here, guys. Sorry. The more electricity that flows into the brain, the faster she becomes Victoria the vampire. Suddenly, Vivian turned pale. She clutched my hand. I just wanted you to know the truth about me. I'm beginning to feel very faint. I always fall ill on the full moon. Ranis, sorry guys. Ranis, I want to go and lie down. Vivian, we're your friends, I told her. And we'll do whatever we can to help you. Oh my god, is it so long to reach chapter 15, guys? We will, promised Farliana. Don't worry, Kiefer is very brave and strong, and he won't let Victoria hurt you or anybody else. I won't, Kiefer blurted fearfully. He swallowed and grinned nervously at Vivian. I won't. Don't worry, Vivian. I'm on your side. She gave him a weak smile. Is this how a weak smile looks like? It doesn't look quite weak. Though I can't even see myself. Whatever. Weak smile and left the room. And this time, when the door closed, the bolt was left open. I looked at my two friends. Well, now we have two problems, I told them. We have to save Vivian from her bad self, and we have to save ourselves too. Chapter 14, guys. Kiefer peered at the brain and scratched his forehead. What are we going to do now, Ranis? I tried to cheer him up. Look, there are 3 of us and only 1 of her. I reminded him. No, there are 2 of her. Kiefer corrected me. Well, kind of. It's this brain that's causing all of the trouble. I argued. If we could only get rid of it. But we can't, Kiefer warned. You heard what Victoria said. Anyone who touches it dies. Well, that's what she said, I scoffed. Are you going to believe someone as crazy as she is? But what if she's right? Farliana asked me, what if we try to do something to the brain and it kills us? Well, would you rather wait until Victoria is ready to bite us and turn us into vampires? Never mind. I snapped impatiently. Farliana's shoulders sagged. I hate multiple choice questions. I turned to Kiefer. Look, you're a boy. You must know something about electricity. Me? He took a step back. I don't know anything. Kiefer Tate, I shouted. Use your brain. He looked at the big, red, throbbing brain and thought about it. Well, just say Victoria has got it hooked up to the electricity. And say the brain needs the electricity to keep it alive. Then it's easy. Turn off the electricity and the brain is dead. Very scientific, I snorted. So turn off the electricity. But I don't know where it's coming from. He protested. From all the wires, shouted Farliana. So find out where the wires go. Poor Kiefer looked so helpless. Two girls were bullying him. He got down on his hands and knees and followed the wires across the dirty floor into the shadows where a big rat was snoozing. Ugh, yuck, he grunted as he poked the rat with his foot. It made a hideous squeaking noise. It makes some hideous squeaking noises and vanished into the dark. Kiefer crawled into a corner, sneezing as he disturbed thick layers of dust. All you could see of him was his feet and his bottom. He looked like a big rat himself. Finally, he traced the wires to a big black box. I found it, but then his face fell. Is this how your face fell? I'm not good at making expressions, you guys. Very sorry. There are no switches or anything to turn it off. We heard him struggling and grunting. There must be a battery inside, but I can't open the box. I glanced at my watch and gasped. It must be dark outside by now, I told Farliana. The moon will be coming out soon. I don't have much time, she shivered. What are we going to do? I looked at the brain. It was steadily throbbing and pulsating. And then I made a decision. I didn't care what Victoria had said. I just knew that I had to do something. I'm going to pull out the wires. Crazy. Pull out the wires. Pull out the wires. Kiefer jumped up. His hands and clothes covered with black grime. But Rannis, you might get killed. I mean, those wires have got electricity in them. I disagreed. I don't think there'd be much. Just enough to keep the brain alive. And that's all. I argued. A human brain couldn't take too much electricity, could it? Kiefer looked doubtful. Farliana froze. I took a deep breath and steadied my nerves and reached for the nearest wire. Rannis, please be careful, Farliana whispered. I didn't whisper the whispering part. Well, we have to do something. My voice sounded weird and strangled. And this is all I can think of. My fingers closed around the wire. Nothing happened. No electricity ran up my arm. So I closed my eyes and pulled it as hard as I could. And came away from the brain instantly. And so did the next and the next. Soon I had plucked out all the wires and we watched as the brain sputtered and stopped throbbing. The red glow slowly faded and the brain became just a big gray blob. There, it's dead, I announced. Kiefer high-fived us. Good work, Rannis. So much for Victoria's lies. I wasn't so sure. Well, the brain is still here, I reminded him. She could come back at any time and put all the wires back in. So now we have to dump the brain where she can't get it. But where? Farliana wondered. I know, Kiefer grinned with a snap of his fingers. In the canal, he shouted. Rannis, remember that big hole in the floor that you almost fell into? Let's throw it down there. It was perfect. But when I reached out to pick the brain, it scorched my fingers. It's still too hot to touch, I complained. We need something to carry it in. We looked around, but there was nothing. Then Farliana had an idea. Okay, this idea is disgusting because I read this thing like a few times. Kiefer, take off your shirt. We'll wrap up the brain in that. Told ya, it's disgusting, guys. I'm so sorry. What? Kiefer shook his head. No way. Mom would kill me if I went home without my shirt. Well, Victoria will kill you if you don't. Your choice, Kiefer, I snapped. Anyhow, it's so dirty already, Farliana observed. You can always say you lost it when you tried to clean it. Kiefer looked from me to Farliana and then slowly started unbuttoning his shirt. Hurry up, urged Farliana. But I don't want to lose any buttons, he protested. Kiefer, I shouted. It doesn't matter about the buttons. Your shirt is going to end up in the canal with the brain. Kiefer ripped off his shirt and handed it to me. Phew, it smells awful, sniffed Farliana. I wrapped the shirt around the brain. Now I could pick it up and carry it. Let's get rid of it before it causes any more harm, I told them. Friliana opened the door, and we made our way back into the gloomy building. It was darker than ever, except for a thin strip of light shining through the window. Moonlight, Kiefer hissed. We're just in time. But as we moved across the floor, a figure stepped out of the shadows. Renis, what are you doing? It asked. Vivian, I told her. We found a way to save you. Really? Said the girl standing in front of us, her eyes ablaze of hatred. What a pity. I'm not Vivian. I'm Victoria. This thing is seriously so long, guys. Oops. Good, I didn't overread. Okay, I nearly read chapter 16. Okay, chapter 13 to 15 is over. Just 2 more videos and we'll be over. So see you guys in the next video, and bye!